Hello everybody, one of my videos, my name's Jamie from Outtakes Games. Today we're doing an unboxing video. Yes, the item is small, but hopefully it's going to open up some big possibilities. This contains a USB stick, which I bought on eBay for £19.99 with no post and packing charge. And it should work with the 400 Mini, which is a review video I did about a month ago. And yes, it does have 25 games built in, but of course some mini systems you can add your own games and some you cannot. This one you can. But of course, games must be legally obtained. Compatible with thousands of Atari 400, 800, XL, XE and 5200 games. But yes, I'm pretty much going to be doing a similar thing to what I did with the ZX Spectrum Next unboxing video, which of course I supported on the second Kickstarter. Now, like the 400, the Spectrum, I also didn't know a lot about the system, but I have had some experiences back in the day. But yes, the only difference between that video and this one is when I did the unboxing for that one, I did already have the USB stick at home for the videos, which is why it featured in the video. So the 400 gets a bonus video, yes. So basically, I'm pretty much going to do it like I did with the Master System 601 cartridge, which I did quite a few years ago, which is, yes, basically it's an EverDrive. Now in the top of the cartridge is actually a USB stick. I've also got one for the Mega Drive as well, because the Mega Drive, Master System and the SNES, yes, got a lot of memories with it, but I wasn't really into game collecting for the systems, so that was a nice alternative. But of course, Amiga, C64, it's a totally different story. So, let's open up this bad boy and see what's inside. Of course, there's not very much inside, but we're going to try it out today. There you go. Papa's got a brand new bag. 400 additional games on USB. And I bought it from H.E.R.O. Please find instructions at retrobro.co.uk on Facebook. Instructions for this product are on retrobro.co.uk. You will also find lots of retro gaming fun and my shop full of other products. Well, the only product I need today is USB stick. So yes, it should contain 1,000 games. Now because the USB thing I didn't know until quite late, I actually bought it on the weekend of the video, which is why I didn't feature in the video, because I did manage to get some games added, and if you watched the video I really appreciate it. You might have saw that some worked and some did not. So I'm expecting a lot more to play today, but we'll play some at random. But yeah, time to set this up now. So there we go, superb. And yes, there was 25 games on the Carrousel. Also on the A500 Mini, that also had 25 games. There was 20 games on the PlayStation Classic, 30 on the NES Mini, 21 on the SNES Mini, and 64 games on the C64 Mini. And also a combination of Mega Drive 1 and 2, there was 100 games combined. But yes, I think 25 is a little bit low, but there we go, it's nice you can add more. So we're going to do just that. So we'll plug in USB stick and see what we've got in store. Okay, so there's the icon. Now, for the majority of the video, I'm probably not going to use this, but I will use it for the time being. It's not the most comfortable of sticks. This is the CX stick. Right, media select 130XE, 400, 800, 5200, system volume information, and the 400 basic. So you press F to go into the folder, F to put it into the box, you press the left button to take it away, the right button to go back a page, and the top button to go back to the carousel. And of course, you can add ratings to your games. So what I've done for this video is the same as the Spectrum Next video. As expected, there was too many folders for my liking. Every time I clicked on one of the letters, it brought up more folders. So there was 3 folders in A, there was 3 folders in B, 3 folders in C, there was 4 in D, and 1 in E. And for some reason, X, Y, and Z were in one single folder. So I've taken those out and given them a separate one. We wouldn't expect many in those categories anyway. But it's nice and much more condensed and easier to find. So now A has one single file. So yes, basically if the game starts with A, it's in the A folder, which makes sense. So we'll play some games now. There you go, we'll start off with this one. Never played it before. Food Fight, copyright 1987. Okay, so the game is Food Fight, an arcade video game developed by General Computer Corporation, released by Atari in March 1983. The player guides Charlie Chuck was trying to eat the ice cream cone before it melts, while calling before Cher out to stop him. Food Fight was released for Atari 7800 console in 1986, also the same year as a cartridge for the Atari 8-bit computers, stylized then as a new Atari X.E.G.S. And a port to the 2600 was cancelled. It's a good game, but difficult. Start the game off with 2 lives. But yes, the main objective is to try and eat the ice cream cone. You've got to do it quickly because it melts very quickly. But yes, as the title implies, food fights. You've got to try and throw food at your enemies. And the enemies in this game are called these chefs. But yes, you can die very easily. But what I like about it is, yes, the enemies can actually hit each other. And these pits, they can fall down them as well. And so can you. Any food left on the screen when the cone is eaten is converted into points. And if the cone hasn't melted away, whatever's remaining is also converted into points. But there we go. Brilliant. I love it. What a high-scoring game, as you can see. Right, level 6. Eat the cone, player 1. Now, if you have any food in your possession when you finish the stage, you'll go on to the next stage with that food still on you. So, you've got to try and have that. And also, I suppose it's probably best to try and get all the enemies in a pack. Because I think you can also hit multiple with one shot. Same if they hit someone as well. But I think we've just got additional life there. But yes, it's getting more and more compacted at the start. Just don't fall down the holes. There we go. I think there's more than footage though. But there we go. That is Food Fights. Lord. Right, food is getting larger. Now we can throw melons at our opponents. Eat the cone, player 1. Level 11. Yeah, I'm not really sort of throwing much food at my enemies. It's just trying to make a break for it. But we're getting a good score. See, that should be okay, because they're at the highest points. Go straight down here. There you go. Right, final life, level 18. Again, not a lot of areas to move. Well, there we go, I'm fairly happy with that. Level 18, game over, player 1. No high score in this game. Don't think there'll be many on the system that does. Right, now some of these are actually already on the carousel, some of them not working, and also, interestingly, Barnyard Blaster does work, but it does actually need a light gun. I didn't realise the 400 had a light gun. So for the time being, we'll give Commando a go. So it goes in the box, you can't see, and you press start. Well, there we go, seeing this version for the absolute first time. Developed by Sculpted Software Incorporated. There you go. Fantastic game. My favourite version is the C4 version. Never seen this version before. Now you press up or down to select your difficulty. We'll go for normal. And 1 player. Okay, so the game is Commando, a vertically scrolling run-and-gun video game released by Capcom for arcades in 1985. It was distributed in North America by Desert Ease and in Europe by several companies including Capcom. The version was released for home video game consoles and home computers, and it was unrelated to the 1985 film with the same name, which was released 6 months after the game. But yes, I did wonder for years we had any resemblance to the film, but no, we're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, we are playing as Super Joe. And it's a super version, I really like it. Of course, in my personal opinion, the ultimate version for me is still the C4 version. Yes, the one we got back in the day only had 3 levels, the arcade version had 8. But in 2015, the C4 did receive an arcade port, perfect port should we say, which had all those missing levels. And of course, the music by Rob Hubbard is absolutely superb. But yes, really is good. I've noticed quite a few differences already. In fact, your bullets do go to fall into the screen. They can also throw grenades, but unfortunately, no spacebar on this one. To throw a grenade, you hold it up and down and press up and down in quick time. But yes, you can actually sprint through this entire stage if you want to. But you can pick up the occasional icons along the way, which is 9 times out of 10 going to be grenades. Whether this has more additional upgrades, I have no idea. But having bullets go to fall into the screen is a really nice addition to the game. Now, I haven't played many other versions. Of course, CD4, both versions I've played, both versions I've finished. The Amiga version I have played. For me, that's probably the weakest one of all the ones I've played, but I have played the arcade version, played on one separate occasion at an expo. Which is also very good. This is also a very good version as well. Now, when you get to the end of the stage, you get bombarded by so many enemies. Of course, it takes one hit to kill your character. But you've got to try and keep these enemies at bay, delay you go to the next level. But I reckon maybe it might have all levels. I don't know. But you don't want too many on screen. It can change and it can get out of control very quickly. But yes, everything that's going to fill up the screen is a marvellous thing. But there we go, we succeed. That's brilliant. What a great version. Got 3 lives, and of course you played in 2-player. Probably taken in turns, I imagine. Broke the first area, now rush to the second. There we go, that's Commando. There we go. Why not? It's very purple, isn't it? Reborn presents Lode Runner. Played many versions, not this one. Copyright 1983. Okay, so the game is Lode Runner, a 2D puzzle platform game developed by Doug Smith and published by Reborn in 1983. Its gameplay mechanics are similar to that of Space Planet from 1980. The player controls a character who must collect all the gold pieces in the level to reach the end while being tracked down by a number of enemies. It's also one of the first games to include a level editor. After the original game, a number of remakes, spin-offs and sequels are published in the Lode Runner series for different computers and consoles by different developers and publishers. Totally Games holds the copyright and trademark rights. Again, it's a classic, isn't it? You cannot go wrong with a game like this. However, it's a very quiet version, but yeah, this game certainly inspired other games, including Digger T-Rock and PP Hammer is your magic weapon. But yes, once you get all the gold, the ladder will reel itself and that will take you to the next stage. But apparently this game has 150 levels. Now the fact it says 002, I'm assuming the 150 levels in the original game is going to be the same here as well. But yeah, I have not played many, but of course I have played some of them. And yes, the AI is always quite impressive in these games. The enemies are not stupid. But of course, what they can also do in this game is they can actually steal the gold from you. Now if that happens, the occasional time they might drop it like you did there, or you can actually bury them underground. And then you have a limited amount of time, you can use their hands as a platform. But yes, they'll change direction if they need to. They'll change direction if they have to. So we're going to go up the top there, pick up those 2, provided we get up there first. But it's quite difficult to try and trap them underground, because by the time the platforms rebuilt itself, they normally do climb out of there. So put one there, and down there. And the sound's confirmed, there is our exit door. So head that way now. But yes, 006, 002 is our level. I'll be very surprised if we finish any games like this. But a great fun to play though, it's a good version. But there you go, that is Lode Runner. There we go. 7,025. There you go, next on the list, Jungle Hunt. Now I have played this more on the Atari 2600, but unfortunately this MIDI does not support that. Copyright 1983. Okay, so the game is Jungle Hunt, originally released as Jungle King. It's a side-scrolling action game developed by H.E.R.O, released for arcades in 1982. It was originally distributed as Jungle King and then quickly modified and re-released as Jungle Hunt due to copyright dispute over the player's likeness to Tarzan. Jungle King, along with Moon Patrol, released a month earlier, it's one of the first video games with palette scrolling. And I have to admit, I didn't know a lot about that, but anyway, Gumjo's always said we love a bit of parallax, and yes we do. But yes, it's not the first one I played. I have got more memories with the Atari 2600 version. Not many of my friends back in the day had one. In fact, I think only one friend I knew had one. His name was Craig, and yes, that game got played quite a bit. But of course, that game, and I assume this one as well, is going to be very short. But at the moment of time, we're currently swimming through the sea. But we do have an optional level. Now we have got, I'm assuming, a blade of some kind, which you can use on these crocodiles or alligators. But yes, I'm just going to try and keep swimming like there's no tomorrow and swim to the end. But yeah, again, not a very long stage. But of course, we do have a timer. But I'm not quite sure what these are. But they do sort of affect your character in a way. What they are, I don't know. But we survived. So there we go. Short and sweet once again. Right, so this is where it's a bit of a blur. I don't really remember this one, but it's of course not the one I originally played back in the day anyway. But we've got to try and run up the mountain. Now we have a big jump and a small jump. Now, can we crouch? Probably not. Is this oh, we can crouch. Okay. But we can't stop. But we can die. So we just keep doing what we're doing. Just keep jumping over the boulders. And then land on our heads. Now, do we continue from that point? Not sure. Right, can we go under them? I don't know. Maybe. They are, of course, moving slowly. Right. crouch maybe? Yes. Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Right, basically I've got here again. Right, so you've got to crouch over the large boulders. I'm hoping there's not going to be too many. Oh my lord. Okay. This guy's going to have a serious headache by the end of the day. I've done it. Fantastic. Right, I do recall this one on the Atari 2600. So, I guess this is a simple 1 jump, 2 jump, jump to your girlfriend. But don't be impaled by the spears. Right. Don't be cooked either. Right, okay. Yeah, not a lot of room for error here. Oh. Bingo! There you go! One of the shortest games ever. Congratulations. So any remaining time is converted into points. I'm quite surprised how many games are actually on this system, but I know so little about the system, but the occasional game I do know, only because I've played other versions. Like Joust, for example. Or Jet Boot Jack, which I have here on the CC4. Right, Jet Set Willy, and I played that one on my last video, but here we got a new one, 2007. So I'm going to put it in the box, right there, and press start. Give that a try. Right, this has happened on a few games, but there are ways around it. It doesn't work every single time now. Now, if you press the start button, then go back into the icon and press the menu button, then change the Atari model from 800 to 800 XL, and then press the back button, and then start, it should give it an actual kick. There we go, Jet Set Willy 2007. This is probably a different version to the one I did on my last video, but yes, as you can see, it's not working. But also, I have substituted this to this, because this is more comfortable than this. The thing I'm not liking the most about this is button there, and there, which doesn't give you much place to put your hand. Because if you press a button by mistake, you'll either exit your game or restart your game. So I'm not overly keen on that. But also, I've just plugged in my USB keyboards, and I think that's what you need here. So there you go, Jet Set Willy 2007, music by Rob Hubbard, an A8 port of the ZX Spectrum Classic. I do have it on CD4, I love the music. Okay, so the game is Jet Set Willy, a platform video game written by Matthew Smith and ZX Spectrum Home Computer. It was published in 1984 by Software Project and recorded with most of the computers at the time. The game is the sequel to Manic Miner, published in 1993, and the second game in the Miner Willy series. It spent over 3 months at the top of the charts and was the UK's best-selling home video game of 1984. The player controls Miner Willy as he tidies up his mansion after a massive party to get some sleep. Players navigate Willy through 60 screens of the mansion and grounds, collecting glowing items while avoiding hazards and guardians. And I love the story. This is the top landing, and it's been a while since I played it. This game is brutal, but this version is much more better than the one I played on the unboxing video. But yes, I've never ever got close to finishing this game. I've always preferred Manic Miner. In my personal opinion, I think it's a much better game, much easier than this game, because this game I never got really anywhere. But of course, I have played it on the CD4 a lot. I've also played it on the Amstrad. Well, that's going back some years. But this is the Nightmare Room, and this character here is actually your girlfriend or your wife. And she actually does kill you here. But this is actually a really difficult screen to get all the items from. But yeah, it doesn't take much serious doing. But this game does have some serious pixel perfect. But yes, let's give it a try. I don't recall this character being turned into an animal of some kind. It's like some sort of flying pig at the moment of time. But yeah, this is now the fine line between survival and death. And it's literally pixel perfect. But yeah, the difficult thing is avoiding that foot, which plays a big part not only in this game, but also other games. Because basically, it kills you in a comical way. But yeah, I'm going to die a lot in this game. I always did. I have to admit, it's been a while since I last played this. I've forgotten how difficult it is. There's another reason why I've always preferred Manic Miner, because Manic Miner I can do. This is difficult to do. There's so many fine lines between losing and surviving. Right. Where can you make the move? Right, Oh my goodness me! Difficult! But I love the look of it. This is so much better than the last version. And I forgot about this as well. But of course, you cannot fall large distances. Or even a small distance is a bad thing. But yeah, that reverses it for some sort of conveyor belt. Alright, got it. Get back quickly. Okay, so this is the master bedroom. That is your wife. And yes, if you haven't done your job correctly, she kills you. And then you get swished by a foot. It's a great game though, it's great ports, but yeah, it's a very, very difficult game indeed. There we go, that's Jet Set Willy 2007. Jurassic Park, 19 something something. So we'll delete that one and give that a try. There we go. The good old loading screens. I assume it is loading. There we go. Jurassic Park. Do have it here on the Amiga. Produced by J.K. Soft. Never seen this version before. This is an absolute first. It's good music though. Okay, so the game, this is Jurassic Park. Not quite the game I was expecting. I didn't know what I was anticipating really. I was very surprised to see there was a game of this name on the system. So we play as a T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus Rex, whichever way you want to look at it, and it's a side-scrolling platform. And yes, we can walk, we can jump, and that's all we can do. We can't eat people, but you can kill people. You do it by basically jumping on their heads. Every time you do it successfully, and it is a bit of a mystery when it happens, because sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, you do earn 100 points. Now, it might look like this game is a very high-scoring game, judging by how many digits on that bottom of the screen area, but it's not actually that very high-scoring game. In fact, the game's not very long either. But anyway, if you do make contact, of course your energy does drain. So it's not a full energy bar at the moment of time, but yes, this game does have many, many difficult jumps. And like Robocop 2, as random as it sounds, on the Amiga, level 2 of Robocop 2 to be precise, and level 1 Pass, you really got to try and push his pixel perfects to the absolute limits. And I don't know how well Robocop's pixelation feet are, I don't know how well T-Rex's pixelation feet are. But anyway, also, when you're falling, you can't control your character once falling, so it's beyond your control. So make sure when you're dropping at the right point. So I try to jump over them if I can, and the occasional kill might happen. Right, but yes, the game itself isn't overly long, but apparently there's also a Jurassic Park 2 on the system as well. There's not many Jurassic Park games I've played over the years. Of course, the Amiga I have played, never finished it though. I've played it on the Mega Drive and also the PlayStation 1, which I think had more than one game on it, if I remember rightly. It might have had Lost World on there as well. But the film is brilliant. But yes, it's a very, very green screen, isn't it? It's like my back garden. But yes, enemies are sometimes equipped with guns, but luckily they don't use them. So yeah, this game can be completed in about 2 minutes. We're well over the halfway mark already. It's not a bad little game. I love the music as well. No sound effects. Would have been nice to have had that, but the music is always a bonus. Yeah, I do love their very small platforms. Some of these platforms tend to blend in with the background, especially the really small ones. Right. The engine's not good. The occasional enemy is getting killed by this large character. Could go down to the wire. Sometimes it does. And sometimes it's probably a best thing to try and not kill them, because it's very much random how they do get killed. Sometimes you don't really know a lot about it. Neither do they, really. Right. Look at these. I'm jumping on poison peas. But yes, it does blend in with the background a little bit. Right, this is actually the final screen. So basically what we're trying to do here is basically kill all these 3 characters. So just jump on their heads. Congratulations, Dino. You're free now. You can go home. So there we go. Really short and sweet once again. That is Jurassic Park. Right, let's turn things completely and utterly on its head. How about a little bit of Hangman, version 3.0, copyright 1983. Right, choose your level. 1 to 3, we go for 2 intermediates. And also, it allows me to test this out a little bit more, even though I know it's going to work brilliantly. It's been so good in the past. Right, enter your guess. Let's go for A. Right, we have begun. E. I. O. C. M. T. P. D. It's not poodle. Not doodle. Google. Oh. Good. L. S. Goodness. Goodness. There you go. Play again, yes or no. Option to boot. Select for DOS. Start for rerun. There we go. Next on the list. Why not? H.E.R.O. Great game on the CZ4. Copyright 1984 by Activision. Okay, so the game is H.E.R.O, standing for Helicopter Emergency Rescue Operation. It's been a game designed by John Van Ryzen and published by Activision for the Atari 2600 in March 1984. It was ported to Apple II, Atari 5200, Atari 8 computers, ColecoVision, CZ4, MSX and ZX Spectrum. The player uses a helicopter backpack and other tools to rescue trapped victims steeped in the mine, and the mine is made up of multiple screens using a flip screen style. The player assumes the role of Roderick H.E.R.O, sometimes styled as our hero, as a one-man rescue team. Miners working on Mount Leon are trapped, and it's up to Roderick to rescue them. Very difficult to read at the same time of doing it. It's fantastic. It really is good. I have to admit, though, I didn't actually realise the 2600 was the first version, but the first version I saw was the CZ4 version. I think this might actually be my favourite version. It's really good. It performs so well. But yes, I am using a control pad. Not a fan of control pads, but it's better than using that CX stick. But it's performing well here. Now, you do have a laser beam and you do have TNTs. All those are limited. In fact, every time you use your laser, it drains your power. But yes, you can get through the game quite quickly. Any TNTs don't use, but you do need them to blast through these walls. And later on in the game, some walls are substituted to lava walls. And some of them can be blown up depending on their thickness. But you mustn't touch those lava walls in any shape or form. Now later also, you do get the occasional water levels with the occasional rafts to help you get over the water. But stay out of the water, believe it or not, your character cannot swim. But we'll do one more and we'll move on to the next game. But a really good game, a really good version. Avoid the snake. And there you go. Brilliant. H.E.R.O. Okay, now one genre I haven't found many of so far is shoot-em-ups. But I just found out that Warhawk is actually on this system. So we'll delete the last one. No file selected. Where is it? Warhawk, 1986 by Firebird. I've got Chad Kroeger's H.E.R.O song stuck in my head now. There we go. Music by Rob Hubbard. I knew you wouldn't let me down. There we go. Warhawk, Firebird, 1986. Okay, so the game is Warhawk, a British scrolling shooter, published in 1986 by Firebird Software. It was released for the Commodore 64, Atari 8 computers, and the CPC and Atari ST. The 8-bit version of the game, with budget price, releases on Firebird's Silver 199 sub-label. The player dodges and destroys obstacles along a vertically scrolling screen. The end of each level has a large number of ships flying for the player from all angles. Another good game. The first version I played was indeed on the Spectrum NES. Then I found out it was on the CD4 and I bought it. Now I'm finding out it's on this. What's next? The Atari ST. I don't know how I'm going to play that. I don't know how I'm going to see that. I don't have an Atari ST. I've never seen one, never played one before. But I'll take his word for it. But another great game. And of course, this game does not have in-game music, but I'll do just that. Of course, it's Rob Hubbard. It doesn't make bad songs. It's an amazing one here. But you do have an energy bar on this one, which drains all the time. But yes, you do have just the one single life. Boss fight in a bit, and of course the Spectrum Next version, they took that on board and really went for the extreme on that one. But on these versions, I think the boss battles are pretty much the same. You're just absolutely bombarded by so many enemies from all angles. A bit like Commando, I suppose. So, no real sort of tactic here. Just try and shoot them, move around where you can, and don't take too much damage. Of course, it's going to be more difficult the more you progress into it. But there you go. Level 1's complete. That is Warhawk. There we go. Love the loading screens. There we go. Fire Chief. Like the sound of it. Never seen it before. There we go. Tim Huntington. Okay, so the game is Fire Chief, a one-player arcade game for the Atari 8-bit. Help the Fire Chief get to the building on fire before it's too late. Then help the Fire Chief rescue the computer disk from the burning building. In the first stage, the player controls a vehicle that travels horizontally and can accelerate, decelerate, and move vertically between the lanes. The player must avoid hitting other cars and must reach the destination in under 500 time units. The player has 3 cars and loses one if he strikes another vehicle. a really, really good game. Very fast and furious. But I'm assuming the icon on the right is telling you what is the best lane to be in. I think that's what it means. But yes, anything from bikes, cars, Formula 1 cars, trucks, vans, even lorries thrown into the mix. But every so often you will have to overtake. But you go faster by pressing forward and you slow down by holding back. You want to go really, really fast, hold the fire button down for the longest period of time and use your burn meter, which is basically that bar down the bottom. Which also, it tells you how much time we've got and how far we are away from our destination. So we're not getting much speed here. So we're going to take a bit of a gamble here. So get the right speed, change lanes and get back safely. But yes, that icon on the right will switch over the course of the level. In fact, it just has. But then you've got to try and adapt to the change of tempo. What a really cool game. Now, if you are hit by a car, or if they hit you, technically the same thing really, isn't it? You do resume play where you left off. It doesn't take you back to the start. And when you reach the building, if you have lost any lives, I think it gives you 3 lives back. I think so, but there's no continues. Right, I've got to try and get down to the bottom lane. Holy moly. Right, there we go. 19 to go, now 18. Plenty of time, so when you know you've got enough time, you can sort of hold back a little bit. Right. Really nice idea. 004, 003, 002. 001. Any remaining time is then converted to points. There you go. That is Fire Chief. Right, so now we've got to try and save the computer disks. Sounds good to me. And another really, really cool idea. So basically we have a fire hose. And you've got to use limited quantities of water to put out the fire. Now you can see what the culprit is. It's the big flame. Now you can't put out the big flame. You can put out the small flames. As long as you hold the fire button down, when you change direction, it should keep going. So now we're going to try and get over to the other side. Like that. Brilliant. Superb. It's a really cool game. Can we get back to our car? Our job is done. Off he goes. Level 2. There we go, another classic. It wasn't 2 minds to include Fogger. We'll go for Fogger 2. 3 Deep, copyright 1984. Okay, so the game is Fogger 2, 3 Deep. It's a video game released in 1984 by the Parker Brothers for the Apple II, Atari 8-bit computers, Atari 2600, 2500, ColecoVision, CD4, IBM PC, and the sequel to the 1981 game Fogger, the arcade video game which has similar gameplay. And it's a classic, isn't it? Now, I was in 2 minds to include the first game, but I thought, why not? Let's try this game. This one I hadn't heard of before. But of course, so many different ports, clones, spin-offs. But amazingly, the first one I played wasn't actually Fogger. It was on Amiga. It was Croak. But it's always been a bit of a mystery to me of how a frog gets killed by the water. But the first scene, as you saw, we are actually on the water. Now, water is a problem, but there's 2 sub-levels to this game. And this is one of them. You've got to try and use a combination of the bounce, then use these birds to get 1 frog to the home point. And of course, you've got to try and make sure that final jump is absolutely perfect. So that's the first bit done. We've also got to try and get 1 more to the left-hand side. But in the meantime, we'll do 1 more piece of the puzzle and then we'll make that final jump. But now we've got to try and get 1 frog to the other side. Basically, you've got to try and land on that dinghy, which has been towed by a boat. The problem is, yes, this game does have a timer which is draining all the time. So there's not really a lot of time to waste on this one. So we're just waiting for the right time. Use the combination of the alligators or the crocodiles and get to the exit. Which I didn't in this case. So we'll do it again. So we jump on the lily pads to there, there and there. Onto there. Use the hippopotamus to there and the whale. And the tortoise. And I can't remember if this one goes underwater. I don't think so. To there and to there. All we're going to try and do now is make the final jump to the left lock. And yes, there's a combination of things that can kill you. It's difficult to tell at first what is killable things and what is not so killable things. But you also pick up bubbles for additional points. And there we go. On we go to level 2. And that is Fogger 2, 3 Deep. Okay, I want to say a huge thank you to people that have watched the video up to this point. What I'm going to try and do now, as a thank you, I've been searching the internet to try and find some new games for the system. And I found myself quite a large number of them, but I don't know how many are going to work. So I put them onto the SD card and I'll try them out. Okay, so once again, there is your icon. So what I've done is I've created another folder and I've called it New Atari Folder. Yes. We'll give it a try. Try some of them out and see how many of them are going to work. Right, extended memory not detected. Only demo levels will be playable. Press fire to continue loading. There we go. First one on the list, Albert. I believe this is only a 3-level demo. Okay, it does give you 3 sets of options. Hold fire to run or up for jump. That's what I'm going for. Okay, so the game is Albert. The aim is to collect all the gems on the level to advance to the next. Your character can run, walk, perform gravity-defying jumps and mid-air swerves and turns. And it's a good game, it really is good. This only has 3 levels, and I did very briefly plug in the CX stick to see what it's like. It's not great. It doesn't perform very well on games like this. But in the option screen, you have the option to change what is preferred for you, whether it's up for jump, fire for jump, and what button you want, or what action for sprint. I've gone from the holding fire button down to sprint and up for jump, like we do in games like Mario. But I'm getting vibes of Great Jealous Sisters. Find all the gems and you move on. Okay, level 2 is, of course, it gets a little bit more difficult than the one you just did. So now we've got more gems to pick up, more enemies to avoid. So of course you cannot fight back. So it's a case of timing your jumps well. But luckily, it's not an instant kill when you take damage. It takes a few hits to kill your character. 5 to be precise, just spotted at the top of the screen. 5 hearts. So 5 hearts is 5 hits. You have 3 lives though. It tells you also how many gems you've still got remaining to get. But yes, these jumps are difficult. But also your character will automatically grab onto the ladders, which isn't really a good thing when you're sort of trying to jump from one location to the next. But we're doing okay. And there's one done. Superb. Okay, last level. Levels are getting longer, enemies increasing in numbers, and also the jumps are getting more and more difficult. But apparently, to play the full game, you need 1.28k of RAM to get all access of the levels, and there are 3 different methods of control in the game. Right, so we've got to jump way over there. Superb. So we've got 26 gems to find. It's nice it tells you at the top of the screen what you have to find. Some games don't do that at all. You've got to try and just guess, really. And just assume that you're going in the right direction and doing the right thing. But I do like the art style here. Right. So we've got to try and go down here. 8 more to find. Still 1 more difficult jump to go, but let's try it. There you go. And that is test levels completed. Bubble Shooter. There you go. Can I go wrong with a bit of Puzzle Bubble? This is Bubble Shooter. Right, Bubble Shooter based on Happy Dragon Incorporated. Copyright 2020-2022 Poland. Right. Okay, so the game, this is Bubble Shooter, aka Puzzle Bubble. And what a game it is. And the first time I played Puzzle Bubble was actually in the mid-90s in the south of France. Basically, it was the arcade. And I got played loads. In fact, it was so long ago, the currency back then wasn't euros, it was indeed francs. And one of the first things I did when I got back in the UK, bought myself Bust a Move 2 on the PlayStation 1 from Electronics Boutique. And I also got played loads. I also got number 4. I don't have 3. In fact, I've never seen 3. But this is actually a very good version. But apparently the minimum requirements is 64 kilobytes of RAM. Optimal requirements, computer with additional memory plus 256 kilobytes of RAM, no long reading and improved graphics. Now you do have the line. In fact, there's 2 difficulties. You have the line on both the easy and the hard difficulty. The hard difficulty, the line is reduced in size. There we go. Okay, Year 1, Season 1, World 002. And of course, you all know the rules of the game. You've got to try and get rid of 3 or more of the same colour, but you want to try and get rid of as many as possible at the same time to increase your score. But of course, you can bounce them off the wall. When the buses move forward, you can bounce them off the top. Now, technically at the bottom of the screen, there should be a line, but for some reason the line's not there. But basically, the clouds. You go below the clouds, the game is lost. What I like about this version is you can actually switch the 2 around. So the one that's currently in reserve, also known as the one that's next, you can switch those 2 around by pressing down. So I'm going to try and switch green for blue to increase your combo. That's a really cool thing, I love that. There we go. 360 points. There we go. Bubble shooter. There we go. Probably not a game you're expected to see on this video. There we go. Have it on the CD4. Peter Scott game. Like Albert, this is also a demo. Okay, so the game is Last Ninja, an action-adventure game originally developed and published by System 3 in 1987 for the Commodore 64. It was converted to Apple II GS, MS-DOS, BBC Micro, and the Acorn Electron in 1988. The Apple II series in 1989, and the Amiga Atari ST in 1990 as the Last Ninja Remix. And the Acorn Archimedes in 1991. It was one of the most successful games released for the Commodore 64 and was followed by Last Ninja 2 and Last Ninja 3. Now I played this the other day, I couldn't even figure out how to jump, but it's actually K. K to jump, H is your holding, spacebar is your weapon, and apparently it's based on the BBC Micro version. So it's a lot easier on this version, but what I am struggling with is the confrontations with the enemies. But what I try to do on other versions is try to avoid as much combat as possible, because it's very easy to get soft locked on this one. Like H.E.R.O Kung Fu, some enemies there, if they get you, it's very difficult to get off and away from them. They just keep hitting you repeatedly. But yes, you can do the same to them, and also in this version, they should stay on the ground. In the Last Ninja 2, of course, the energy does repair, so you get back up again. But yes, also, using holding items, yes, you can equip them, but I don't know how you use them. I don't think you need any anyway. We're going to pick up the key, and yes, we can hold it, but I don't think we need it anyway. What we do need is a smoke bomb. But it is a fast version, a good version though. I think that is food. And it's not too bad to pick them up. Now amazingly, this game has no in-game music, just title screen music, so that is what you're listening to. But once again, it's very well done. I think that is the smoke bomb. Right, this one is going to be difficult, it always is. So I don't think that's going to be jumpable. I don't know. The first one, yes. The second one, I don't think so. Okay? Right, we'll sink like the Titanic. Right, here again. I think that is going to be a really tough one to jump onto. Yours. Like quicksand. There you go. Right, I'm here again. Energy's not good, but that's fine. I've got to try and get over this. I think what is making this difficult is the fact that you've got to try and use the keyboard to jump, then use the controller or joystick to move the character around. If it was joystick for jump, that would make it easier. But there's really not a lot of room for error here. It's literally a whisker, a cat's whisker away. What worries me though is, even if I do make that target, then you'll jump from there to another one. I don't think it's doable, I really don't. I am determined, but what is worrying is, even if I do make this jump, it's not the end. You've got another jump afterwards, and then probably two more after that. But yeah, you can't really go any further than that, because you will get that sinking feeling. But maybe another day. Maybe the full version will fix that. I don't know. But that is the Last Ninja. August 10 at night. I know I'm crazy. But it's fine. I'm late next week. There we go. Monty On The Run by Reborn Graphics. Another fantastic game on the CD4. One I've never finished before. Love the music. It's fantastic. There you go. Written by Jason Perkins. Graphics by Terry Joyd. Colour mode 1 of 2. Sprite map 5 stars. Okay, so the game is Monty On The Run, a computer game created by software house Reborn Graphics and released in 1985 for the Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, ANSI and the Commodore 16. It was written by H.E.R.O for the ZX Spectrum with the iconic in-game music for the Commodore 64 version provided by Rob Hubbard. It's the third game in the Monty Mold series. It's brilliant! I love it already, but I'm noticing so many differences already, even on this first screen. This is the house, and the first version I played was the ANSI CBC, but I played it more on the C64. But I've never finished it before. But yes, this first screen, I'm noticing platforms in different locations, different enemies, but of course the music is there, it's outstanding. But not only that, your character doesn't have his iconic forward front flip, which is his iconic move. his signature move. And also a platform here, which takes you down into another screen, is not there either. Very, very interesting. Start the game off with 3 lives. I guess it's pretty much like a sequel. It's a whole new game. But I haven't finished any of the Monty Mole games. I haven't played many. Only this and Impossible I've played. I'm probably closer to finishing Impossible than any other game. But it took me years to realise that the mole from Monty On The Run and Impossible was the same mole. Right, so let's see how we do. Don't want to play it for too long. Got a lot of games to get through. But hopefully this is going to be a good video, I think. I think it's a good idea. Right, so we're going to head left, and of course you can be crushed, you can fall into water, another character can't swim. On the run for authorities, after its intervention with a minor strike, Monty Whirl must escape the house and head for the English Channel, and freedom in Europe. In traditional platform fashion, along the way he needs to collect various objects and solve puzzles to complete his escape. Before the game, 5 objects must be chosen from Monty's Freedom Kit. Choosing the wrong items will leave the player unable to pass certain screens. However, I didn't see that on the title screen, so maybe this is a whole new game. I mean, it does feel like a whole new game. But maybe it's just a simple start to the end sort of system, I don't know. But this is the escape tunnel, where there's so many different screens, but this is not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. It just feels like a whole new game. Oh, blimey. So pixelated. Now apparently according to the title screen, if you press 1, 2 or 3, depending which version you have, you can change the look of your game. If you press 1, you go for like a monochrome sort of feel. But certain versions will allow you to go to a third setting, which is number 3, which gives you the look of the Commodore 16. Another nice touch. Right, I'm not quite sure where we're supposed to go. Not quite there, Jamie, but there we go, game over. That is Monty On The Run. There we go, we jump from one genre to a new one, Doom. Only have its official version on the PlayStation 1, a brand new port for the classic first-person shooter for the Atari XL XE, copyright 2023. So there are your controls, some on the keyboard, some on the control pads. No surprise there, but no mouse here. Okay, new game. Knee deep in dead. Hurt me plenty. Entering the hangar. Okay, so the game is Doom, a first-person shooter game developed and published by ID Software, released on December 10th, 1993 for DOS. It was the first installment of the Doom franchise. The player assumes a role as a space marine, who was later unofficially referred to as Doom Guy. Fighting through hordes of undead humans and evading demons, the game begins on the moons of Mars and finishes in Hell, with the player traversing through each level to find its exit or by defeating the final boss. Look at this! Who would have thought a game like this would appear on a system like this? It's amazing what you can do if you really go for it. But yes, it wasn't the first Doom game I played. In fact, the first one I played was quite some time ago. It was actually Doom 2. Our first PC we bought from a shop called Tiny, who went bust a long time ago. We got Doom 2 from one of our friends, and it was quite a few years later until we got to play the first game. But I've not played many of the Doom games, certainly not the new ones anyway, but I've never actually managed to finish many of these first-person shooters on the PC. But yes, it's incredibly blocky, but yes, the gun isn't actually on screen, but you can get the pistol and the shotgun, and of course you can use your fist if you press 1. But you press the spacebar to open the door. Also, you can actually shoot the barrels like you do in the first game as well, which is good if there's enemies nearby. But you can pick up medipacks, and you also can pick up armor-proof vests. But keep clear of the explosions, you don't want to kill yourself. Right, we find the exits. To defeat this enemy here, best to do it from a long distance really. Pick up the medipacks, and we now hit the button. There you go! Amazing! It's an early example of 3D graphics in video games, and has enemies and objects as 2D images, a technical sometimes referred to as 2.5D graphics. Kills 85%, items 50%, no secrets, time 135, par 30. Press a key. There you go. There we go, another classic, fantastic. One of my favourite games on the CD4. This one came out 2020 by Team Hoaxers. Okay, so the game is Wonder Boy, a 1986 platform game published by Sega, developed by Escape. Originally designed for arcades, was later ported to home video game consoles and home computers. And the version on the CD4 is one of my favourite games on the CD4. Great memories of that game. Now this game, I'm going to go like the Cappers, because you've got to in a game like this, because of course it's well known to have a draining vitality bar, which drains very quickly. So basically you'll try and keep sprinting, jumping over enemies, and taking them if you have to, and try and pick up the food. But yes, I think the pickaxe is the only weapon you've got in this version, but I haven't seen the skateboard and I haven't seen the mushroom yet. But again, in the CD4 version, you pick up the mushroom, it replaces food from fruit to junk food, which is worth more. So as long as you're picking up the food and not killing yourself, you should be okay. But the occasional enemies you must deal with. But yes, when you're throwing the pickaxe, it does move slightly differently. Every time you see a signpost, that's basically a checkpoint. So there's 4 of them in this game. I can't remember how many are in other versions. There might be less, might be more, I can't remember. But the Master System is also a very good version. But the CD4 version did finish quite some time ago. I did a long play quite some time ago as well. I had good fun with that one. But the only enemy which you can make contact with, which will drain energy apart from killing you, is the rock. Everything else, try and avoid at all costs, including the flames. But yes, I'm not killing many, I just try and keep the energy topped up. But yes, like Albert, which I played earlier in this video, you do tend to use the sprint in this game to try and get to reach further grounds and higher grounds. But at the moment of time, it's more of an avoiding game. But we're surviving. It's a really good game. You start the game off with 3 lives, and you normally have to pick up an item per stage, which belongs to your girlfriend. Whether it has a boss battle, I'm not sure. Probably going to get there to find out, because I think it's crashed already. Yes, that doesn't sound good. I think this one is struggling, but never mind. It's a great version. It came out in 2020. New Generation presents. What we have here, my friends, is a preview. A small preview for Lost Party 2021. Basically, it's a rolling demo, and it's also work in progress. I don't need this, and I don't need this. This one is basically going to play itself. I was just about to say, can you tell what it is yet? You definitely know now. It's the Great Gianna Sisters. Now, the only versions I've played is the CD4 version, the Amiga version, as well as the remake by H.E.R.O in 2019. Which, of course, is superb. Music. It's okay. Not too bad. But yes, I'm not playing this, by the way. Right, so we've got to try and find 100 diamonds. 100 is digital life. Now, we can't fire them over time, or should we say they're not firing them over time, and they've got the ability to do so. But when you fire dream bubbles. Go in the door. Go in the door. Through the door. Time is to get away. Please go in the door. There you go. Any remaining time is converted into points. I want to play it. I really want to play it. It looks good. See you soon. This is a much better track. It really is good. I like this one a lot. Unfortunately, no more. I don't even know if it's finished. Of course, 2021. It's quite a few years ago. I don't know if it's old news. I have no idea. But, interested to see. Anyway, we'll do one more and we'll put the finishing touches to this video. That is the Great Gianna Sisters. We'll see you soon. There we go, final one on the list. Another great game on the CD4 I have here. A short game though, one from Craggle. This is Mikey. Unfortunately though, I think this is going to be running a little bit slower than it should. It was saying not enough memory just now. Loading Mikey goes right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the music should be faster than this. And it's also not in shot. There we go, programmed by Vega, graphics by Kez, music by Micah. Press fire to start. This is Mikey. Okay, so the game is Mikey, an arcade video game developed and released by Konami in 1984. The gist of the game is a guided student named Mikey around the school location to collect hearts and bring a letter for his girlfriend, while avoiding being chased by members of the school staff. In Japan, the game setting was changed to an office to avoid controversy. While the other versions were released internationally, H.E.R.O is distributed the game in North America. And it's another great version, but I'm certain it should run a little bit faster than this. But the CD4 version I've played up to death. Amazingly though, I've never actually played it on the arcade before. But the game itself isn't overly long. What we've got to try and do is basically got to try and give these children a little nudge and knock them off their stool and then steal the heart underneath their bench. And then you've got to try and make your way to the exit door. But some levels do this and some levels you've got to try and shout at the items, which of course is always the big hearts in this game. But it is a great version. On we go to the next level. Okay, that's more enough footage though. That is Mikey. Okay, it's actually the 4th room now, but yes, it's definitely running a lot slower than it should, but we're slowly getting through it. But on this one, you've got to try and collect the heart and try to avoid contact with the dancers. Make contact with the dancer, it's going to stun your character, which makes you unable to move for a very brief moment. It's okay, provided there's no teacher nearby, but this teacher is well known to throw his false teeth at you. And if it makes contact with that, then yes, it's an instant kill. Well, it doesn't kill you, it doesn't technically go that far, it just makes you cry, but a life is lost. Now, at the top of the screen, it should have your information, your score, and your lives, and any letters you picked up. But unfortunately, I think it's also chopped, so there's quite a lot of issues with this ROM. And it's also a bit glitchy at times as well. But anyway, the door is open, we're going to head that way now, and it's actually 20 past 2 in the morning, so get some sleep after this. But yes, it's a really good version, but yes, the physical version for me is the ultimate. And we just did it by the skin of our teeth. There we go, that is Mikey. Okay, but it's more enough footage. Hope you enjoyed my video. Huge thank you once again to the patrons. You guys are superb. Thank you for doing support. And it's Jamie Morden's Games. Please like and comment. You find me on most platforms. Type in Morden's Games, find it fairly easily. More videos like this. Do regular on bits of cheese. Have ever been making a live stream on Friday night. Your good time, 8 o'clock. It's hard on the week. This is on Dizzy. Ciao, bye. See ya. Okay, so the game. Is it in shot? Okay, so the game is Last Ninja, an action-adventure game originally developed and published by System 3 in 1987. Okay, so the game is The Last Ninja, an action-adventure game originally developed and developed. Okay, so the game is Monty On The Run, a computer game created by software house Grim Graphics and released in 1985 for the Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, and CPC, and the Solid. Okay, so the game is Jet Set Willy, a platform video game written by Matthew Smith for the ZX Spectrum home computer. It was published in 1984 by Software Projects and ported to home most. Okay, so the game is Food Fight, an arcade video game developed by Okay, so the game is. Okay, so the game is. Food Fight. Okay, so the game is Food Fight, an arcade video game developed by General Computer Corporation. My goodness me. Hang on a minute. I'm moving to this. My lord, look how fast that car was. Okay, so the game is Jungle Hunt, originally released as Jungle King, is a side-scrolling action. Testing. What happened there? Okay, so the game is Warhawk, a vertical scrolling shooter, published in 1986 by Firebird Software. Okay, so the game is Warhawk, a vertical scrolling shooter, published in 1986 by Firebird Software. It was released for the Commodore 64, Atari 8-bit computers, Amstrad CPC, and Atari ST. The 8-bit version of the game with budget price releases on Firebird Silver 199, not 119.